Hello, everyone. So, I'm going to start with bad news and then I'll give you some good news because hell knows we need some of this. First of all, yes, we do have an intense pressure from the Russian troops in the direction of Pokrovsk. The reason Pokrovsk is important is that it is an important transportation hub. Why transportation is important during the war, I hope I don't need to explain that to you. Ukrainians got back the bodies of 250 soldiers. So again, it's a drop in a bucket, but at least it's something. Some families got closure. What Ukrainian military and civilians are dealing with right now are, first of all, guided bombs. We talked about the guided bombs, why they are dangerous, what are the challenges of dealing with them. Plus, the infantry. Again, Russia is notorious for being absolutely, blasé about the loss of human life. Anybody who says they honor every death, maybe read some eyewitness accounts and family accounts who are still waiting to hear where their children, their brothers, their spouses died and were buried or incinerated. So, there's that. And there are warplanes and artillery that they're using to support the troops. And again, remember, Russia has that advantage of, first of all, using the long-range artillery from the border regions and from the invaded areas to be able to fire rather deep into Ukrainian territory. So that has been basically the bane of Ukrainian existence. That is one of the biggest, most challenging things. And that is why there's been so much frustration up until recently about the restrictions on Ukrainians using long-range weapons, especially West-provided weapons, to fire into Russia. Because basically all they're asking is let's level the playing field because they can fire at us, but we can't fire at them. That is stupid. So there is that. It's not all bad. Okay, I know it sounds horrible, and it is horrible. Every time I have to talk to my parents, I have to brace myself to hear what new horrors Russia had unleashed on them specifically and on Ukrainian civilians in general. Not to mention the fact that I don't even know if my parents are still alive. So there's that. Anywho, but we do have things like that. So this time we had a strike on Russia's Morozovsk airfield. And among other things, a bomb warehouse was hit. So this was a massive overnight drone assault. And again, Ukrainians are being very, very consistent, hitting military targets only. But what was interesting about this particular one is that it is in the Rostov region. So this is one of the border regions. And because they hit the bomb storage, it wasn't just the fire, it wasn't just the smoke. It was the ongoing explosions, one after another, as that stuff got overheated and blew up. And of course, the explosives that were stored there caused additional damage. All the drones had to do was basically trigger the fire, and then the whole thing was just one big explosion, one big chain reaction. So, one of the important points that was brought up was that the reason this was possible, especially this close to the front line, is because Russia's air defenses are getting sloppy. They're so busy directing all effort against whatever is inside Ukraine, Ukrainian military, Ukrainian civilians, etc., that they're not watching their own back. So, therefore, the drones are able to fly across Ukrainian territory over the invaded territory, because in order to get to that region, they would have had to fly over the heads, literally, of the Russian military. and then go and deliver. So that is good news. And once again, as we mentioned before, because these drone attacks have been executed all across Russia, both near and far, it has a tremendous psychological impact because they literally don't know where the next one is coming from. And then there is this. So Ukrainian military hit and sunk a Russian submarine and damaged an anti-aircraft missile system in Crimea. So again, Crimea is definitely a factor. You know, people forget about it because everybody's watching the Eastern Front, everybody's watching the aerial attack on Kiev, and that's understandable. Those are massive, spectacular, you know, cause a lot of damage, cause a lot of casualties. But this is important. Do not discount Crimea. Crimea is important. And the more I'm watching this, the more I'm becoming certain of what my father said about Ukrainian strategy there is that with Russian military and officials basically trapped that after the withdrawal of Russia's Black Sea Fleet and the Azov Sea Fleet. What we are trying to achieve there is make it so hot for them that they're going to be prepared to swim across the Black Sea to mainland Russia and leave on their own accord. So I'm sure there's going to be more to come, more strikes like that, and like the one against the military airfield in Rostov. So we'll see. Let's follow the news.